My favorite moment as a Marlies so far would probably be the first game that I got called up and started last year. It was against Hershey at the Rico Coliseum, sorry. And yeah, I was in a situation where I didn't know if I was going to get back in the league, and then to get called up and to get a chance to start, you know, it was just something I was very thankful for, and it was a good home win that we had, so it was a good start to my Marlies career. I do still have the why not on top of my stick. I've had it back when I was in Manitoba years ago. I was kind of trying to establish myself as an AHLer. I was kind of going, it's kind of at that point where it's my third year pro, I think, and I had some good times. You know, couldn't find that consistency yet. I was with Detroit, and I'd just gotten traded to Vancouver, so I was with the Manitoba Moose, and I had I had some good things, like I said, but was kind of struggling. And it was just kind of a time where I said, you know, enough's enough. I gotta do a better job here if I want to establish myself. And started, you know, I had Rick St. Croix, who's the goalie coach for the Leafs, and we did a lot of talking, and you know, all of a sudden I put that on the top of my stick. It has kind of biblical sense to it. It's, you know, it's kind of I have a tattoo on me, Philippians 4:13. Through him all things are possible, and it's kind of a thing like that, you know, but it's just basically why can't I kind of have success in this league, and it's kind of a motto that I've kind of lived by ever since. I remember in the warm-up, just kind of had a moment where I just went over to grab a drink, and just kind of had a moment where I looked up and there was a little bit of snow falling, and it was just like the most beautiful scene. It was just really cool. You know, we were both teams in the middle of our warm-up and starting to feel normal. You look up and just like a little bit of snowfall coming down. It was so cool. And then obviously the shootout, when we pulled it out in the shootout, it was an awesome victory. I was probably played 1 year of player when I was to start playing hockey, and my father was a goalie. Many of my relatives were goalies, and it was a no-brainer what I wanted to do. So I was probably about 6 or 7 when I started. I think probably 7 when I started being a goaltender. Played. My father said, "You can be a goalie, no problem," but I had to learn how to skate first. So learned how to skate, and then. Got a pair of pads for Christmas, and it was the coolest Christmas present. The first thing that crosses my mind when I get scored on would probably be disappointment. You know, you kind of look up. Usually you don't see the puck. You know, sometimes you see across the line if you're facing the net, but usually you just kind of, you look, your kind of eyes just automatically go to the ref. And you see that point when he's pointing to the net, and it's not a good feeling. You know, it's disappointment. I think you pretty much immediately go to what I could have done better in that situation, and then it's just time to kind of forget about it and move on. My favorite hockey player growing up was Andy Moog, a goalie from Boston Bruins primarily. Don't think many people hear that, but I loved him from day one. He was just, I don't know what it was about his game. I just, you know, pretty much whatever team he went to a few teams after Boston. Started in Edmonton, went to Boston. Pretty much whatever team he was with, they were my favorite team. So definitely my favorite goalie. The behind the back save was a pretty cool moment. My favorite thing about it was that it was a tie game in the playoffs. So, you know, we ended up winning that game. So that was my favorite part of it. But it was, yeah, it was just something that it was reaction. It was desperation. The guy made such a good play, kind of one-touching it. I didn't have time to kind of square up and react. So I just I could see it in the corner of my eye, and I've done it in practice before, so I guess the only thing that I can give myself credit for is that you practice like you play, I guess, muscle memory kind of thing. But I'd done it in practice. Usually they still score, but just kind of a desperation. You try to get a body part, and that's the name of the game for a goalie. So, but yeah, it's crazy how many people have watched it, and those first couple of days after, it was just climbing. It was already like almost 1 million people within a few days, or within a week, and yeah, it was crazy. But that's social media for you, I guess. When we go on the road and we always see Marlies fans and Leafs fans, it's really cool. They're just in St. John's, Newfoundland, and they're obviously Leafs fans there, and there's lots of Leafs jerseys and Marlies jerseys. So such a popular team with the Leafs. A lot of people adopt the Marlies as their team too, and it's a great organization and a great city, and just I've really enjoyed my time here. So it's always nice to see fans of our team.